The Plymouth Police Department is warning about phone and email scams that often target elderly residents. The latest case involved an elderly man who was contacted to bail his grandson out of jail. He was asked to send a $14,000 payment via FedEx, which he did. But it turns out it was not his grandson, and now there is no way to get the money back. Police say there are several ways to tell if a call is a scam.
Always think twice before you're clicking on a link, responding to an email, requesting money or financial information. If anybody is asking you for gift cards, if you think a relative or anybody's in trouble, please take a second thought, take a step back and try to verify that information through independent sources that you have and not through the email, phone call, or other way you're getting that information.
There have been at least 4 reports of this type of grandparent scam since January. Should the mayor of Brooklyn Center get his own office space at City Hall? That question produced a lengthy city council discussion this week. Mayor Micah is adamant that he needs an office at City Hall to do his job. The city manager arranged for a temporary office at no taxpayer expense. But the mayor told the city manager it was insufficient, partially because it didn't have a window.
This is not about aggrandizement or, wanting to feel powerful or any of those things. If I wasn't operating in this role some 30, 40 hours a week, some weeks, actually many of the weeks, if I did not feel a genuine need for this, I would not bring this forward.
I really feel that if this is to be discussed again, I think it's only appropriate, it doesn't have a very good appearance if we decide this tonight with 2 of our members missing.
Council members at this week's meeting ended up agreeing that space would be made available at City Hall for all council members. 2 local businesses will receive money from the state to grow jobs. The state's Job Creation Fund awarded $675,000 to Cantel Medical in Plymouth. Cantel makes products to prevent infections. The funds will be put toward a $4.5 million expansion at the company's Plymouth facility. NAPCO International, meanwhile, will receive $110,000 to expand its Brooklyn Park business. NAPCO manufactures parts to repair U.S. military vehicles. Our Black History series continues with a profile of New Hope City Council member Cedrick Frazier. Sonny Goen shows us how his story started with humble beginnings.
I, Cedrick Frazier, do solemnly swear.
With family by his side, Cedrick Frazier was sworn in last September on the New Hope City Council. He was appointed to fill a vacant seat, making Frazier the first African-American to serve on the city council.
There's absolutely a huge responsibility. I think one of the reasons that I decided to go through the process to be appointed was because I take that responsibility, I think it's important, and I take it serious.
Frazier has lived in New Hope for about 4 years.
I like the location. The location was kind of everything for my family.
He and his wife Stephanie have 3 children.
We've got a lot going on.
Frazier rose from humble beginnings. He's the oldest of 7 kids and grew up on Chicago's South Side.
It is one of the areas in Chicago, one of the toughest areas, a lot of the gun and gang violence.
He was determined not to succumb to his environment. His mother encouraged him to do better.
Very fortunate, had a strong parents that told me education was important from day one.
The councilman earned a law degree from William Mitchell and works for the Minnesota Department of Education.
It is necessary that we have folks that look like me in positions.
He says people who are making the decisions don't look like the demographics of New Hope.
You've got over 30% people of color, a large part of that are African Americans, about 14 to 15% are African Americans. But when you look around the city, when you look at the elected officials, when you look on the commissions, when you look at the staff, you do not see any of that reflected.
Frazier wants to change that by being more inclusive. He recently suggested the city survey include questions centered around representation.
Do you see yourself within the city? Do you feel like the city represents your background, your culture, and do you feel included?
Based on survey answers, he wants to find more ways to be more engaging and welcoming.
I'm here to make the city of New Hope the best city you've ever lived in and the most inclusive community that you can be a part of.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
From the state capital all the way to the African nation of Uganda, today's Standout Student has interests far and wide. Here is Neil Persley.
I like the connection that the teachers have with the students, the way that they're always there and willing to help you.
And Micah Weckert should know. He's been going to Fourth Baptist Christian School
Since kindergarten.
Micah is a junior with strong academic accomplishment, but some of the things that caused him to be singled out don't have anything to do with school at all.
He's got a lot of things, additional talents, abilities going for him. He is involved not only in his church, he's looking at going on a short-term missions trip.
When his church began organizing a mission trip to Uganda, Micah felt the need to answer the call.
Things that we'll be doing in Uganda, building homes up in the northern villages. We're also going to be building a new church up there. Several of the orphanage around there will be hosting a kids carnival.
He participates in many of the opportunities you might imagine in high school. He plays basketball and soccer, sings in the choir, band, handbell choir, and is on the mock trial team. But his interests carry him beyond the school walls.
He was just chosen to be a part of the Minnesota Page program in the House of Representatives here in the state.
Politics is something I really enjoy.
He credits his school and his teachers with giving him the tools he's needed to succeed thus far.
They push you to do better than you think that you can be. I think that's one of the best qualities of Fourth.
In Plymouth, Neil Persley, CCX News.
And you can see this and all CCX News stories on our website, ccxmedia.org.
Spots in the state boys hockey tournament are on the line this week. The Maple Grove boys face Blaine for the Section 5 AA title Thursday night. As Jay Wilcox reports, the Crimson players look forward to the challenge.
The Maple Grove boys hockey team is back in a familiar spot. They'll play in their fourth straight Section 5 AA final this week. The Crimson advanced with a solid 4-2 win over a much improved Champlain Park squad.
I thought we had a good game. I like how our team's playing right now. We're playing fast, we're playing confident, and keeping things simple like playoff hockey's meant to be. And we've been successful doing that so far.
I felt really good. I think guys are buying into the team and really doing it for each other. I thought we played fast, we played physical. I thought we took a little too many penalties, but got a week here to refine that and get ready for Blaine.
The Maple Grove guys watch the Crimson girls team win their section final and advance to the state tournament. They hope that success carries over.
Being at that game, it was pretty exciting to see their atmosphere and talking to them after. They're all saying like, you guys are next, and it's really nice to have that relationship between us and kind of feed off of their energy too.
Thursday night, it's Maple Grove versus Blaine in the section final. The teams split 2 regular season meetings, and each have had great seasons. It looks like an even matchup.
Each team brings a little bit something different. We know their power play is good, but we got a good power play, and I think we'll be pretty evenly matched. Again, I'm excited, and anytime you get a number 1 and 2 seed that have played well all year, it's going to be a fun atmosphere.
I think it's going to be a game of defense. We're going to have to lock down in the D zone, play strong in the defensive zone, and that will lead the offense. But it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a big crowd and a lot of bad blood between the two teams, so it should be fun.
There will be a strong champion in Section 5 AA either way. Maple Grove hopes they'll be the team skating to state. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Maple Grove and Blaine play at 7 o'clock Thursday night at Aldrich Arena. The Totino-Grace boys hockey team has had a great bounce-back season, winning the Northwest Suburban Conference's West Division. The Eagles are shooting for a spot in the state Class A tournament. They face St. Paul Academy in the Section 4 semifinal. Spartans in blue and number 7 Adam Zukowski rips a shot just under the crossbar and in. And SPA has a 1-0 lead through the first period. Second period, the Eagles tie it. Jack Bonfie passes. Puck comes to Kyle Heffron. He sneaks a shot in 5-hole for the goal. And this game is tied 1-1. It's a big period for Grace on the power play. Ben Palmer passes to Bonvie, who sets up Caleb Meehan for the goal, and Totino-Grace has the lead for good at 2-1. And Grace would add two more. Stephen Hand with a shot on net. Meehan is there to score and the rebound for his second goal to make it 3-1 Eagles. Grace scores 4 times in the period. They go on to win 4-2. Eagles play Matamidi in the section final Friday in Roseville. Maple Grove won the Section 8 4A girls basketball tournament last season to advance to state. The Crimson are the number 2 seed for this year's section tournament. They open the playoffs at home against Brainerd. Kylie Baranek hits a quick catch-and-shoot three-pointer for the Crimson. The Maple Grove freshman Ari Gordon will get a steal and flash the other way for the hoop, and the Crimson up early, 12-2. Brainerd rallies. Olivia Click scores, cutting the Crimson lead to 18-15. Maple Grove's Jordan Lampker fights for the rebound and puts it back for Grove. On the way to a good night for her. Then Abby Schulte drives and beats the first half buzzer with this shot. Maple Grove leads at 24-18 at the break. Early second half, Baranek zips a pass to Sam Carroll and she finishes. Maple Grove goes on to win 50-35. They meet Elk River in the semifinals Saturday in St. Cloud. That's all for sports. More news after this.